don't have a voice.
Why don't you have a voice, Sean?
I've been telling the entire country about Bitcoin and crypto all weekend at a carnival here in New Zealand. So I know there's plenty of people watching that are sick of hearing me talk about Bitcoin, but here we go again, people.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
I've used up my voice, so you're going to have to steer the ship today.
I can try and do that. So we've got Jazzy, we've got Sonia, we've got Martin with the last name that I'm never ever going to pronounce, and we've got my computer not wanting to do anything. So Sean's going to have to take over. Well,
fantastic, Lisa, fantastic.
Yeah,
I can't talk and breathe at the same time at the moment, people. So I'll do my best. But shout out to anyone watching at the moment that I did meet this weekend at the carnival here in New Zealand. That was a hell of a lot of fun. Very pleased to see that many of you do know about Bitcoin, but I'm so happy to hear that none of you actually own crypto. So hopefully you're watching this channel and that will change. So
you were telling them about Bitcoin.
Oh God, you know me, Lisa. That's all I talk about. So I made some friends. I lost them just as quickly, but I think I made some good ones as well that were actually quite interested to listen to me bleat about Bitcoin and crypto. There will be many watching, I'm sure. We're actually going to have a couple of them on the channel in the coming weeks with some NFT stuff as well.
Nice.
But the it's very much on the radar down here because the New Zealand pension fund has put 5% of the fund into Bitcoin. So that sort of hit the press here a couple of days ago. So for a lot of people, that's really put it on their radars. That's their retirement, and it's in Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, I don't blame them. Bitcoin is almost a stable coin the way it doesn't move at the moment. So it's been a fairly good investment, over the last year. And, from just under $4,000 to we are now around 56,000. So, when you look at it that way, that's a super investment. And you can't go wrong. And I think, we're about halfway in this pattern and we're going to continue. We've got a channel happening at the moment. So, we'll jump in and we'll show you all that soon. So I'll quickly say hello to a few more people. So we've got Nathan Butler, Skyrocket Films. We've got Gaz New, Crypto Kitty Meow. So James, George, John, Benny, so many of you, Danny. And also my getting started in crypto.com is live. We've had a few glitches over the last couple of days. We've had so many more people entering or trying to enter than we anticipated. So, and then we had somebody attach a bot that made our email just API die. So that's getting
too popular, Lisa.
Yeah, so somebody decided to put a bot in there to try and get the signals to a Discord or a Telegram, and the website did not like it. So
Daddy S is asking us, did we see the NFT skit on Saturday Night Live? Yes, I did. That kind of shows you where we're at, people.
Yeah, so it's mainstream. Crypto is really mainstream. So it's a very exciting time to be here and, to be trading and to be doing all of that. So, I've got a meeting tonight with a company that's, they're awesome. So they've got this product that we're doing a pushed trade. So, app. So basically they get my signals, you swipe it and you can trade it. So that's it. It's really exciting. So they are developing that at the moment. We were hoping to have that live before the website went live, but it's taking a little bit longer because it's quite complex, like putting the APIs into the exchanges. But yeah, it's coming. So that's exciting.
Very good. And I heard you've had a huge amount of signups already. And with your track record, Lisa, I get that. So shall we jump into it?
We shall
Bitcoin
jump
down 4% on the week. What's coming next?
Well, Bitcoin looks really good to me. So we're in this uptrend channel. Now at the moment, so this Bitcoin could drop to around about 54. So if we look at the shorter term chart and we go to this chart here, so this is the hourly, and we are in this downtrend channel here, and it's quite flat. It's not like a really dippy one, but we can see this pattern here. And I've said on Twitter that we're going to hit this 100 MA. So this 100 MA is at 54, which if we go back to that previous chart here is our channel support. So that's the reason I believe we're holding that 100 MA on the hourly, and then we will continue up. So Bitcoin to me looks really, really strong and should continue. So if we go to this chart here, this is the 12-hour or half daily. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and we should get a truncated wave here. We've also got the 100 MA on this support, so on this 12-hour chart. So to me, this is looking really, really strong to continue moving up. I know there's still lots of bearish patterns out on Twitter, but with everything that's happening in the market and this happening, hitting NFTs, especially hitting sort of mainstream and, all of that at the moment, people want to own Bitcoin. And you were just saying before, Sean, that, New Zealand pension fund has put 5% in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's for me, that's a massive piece of news. And, everyone knew about it. I've been at a big carnival here. There were hundreds of thousands of people at this thing. And always a wonderful opportunity for me to sort of gauge how much people know about Bitcoin and crypto. And they'd all read that news. And that really sparked the interest of a lot of people that sort of flat out thought, still think Bitcoin and crypto is a load of rubbish and, it's a fad.
No, it's here to stay. It's definitely here to stay. 100%. So this is the MACD on the 12-hour chart that I just showed you. So we can see that it's crossed bullish and it is turning up. So, while we can still have that small pullback that I showed you on the 1-hour chart, this overall Bitcoin is still very, very bullish and going to continue up. So I don't see any issues with any of the alt patterns, like due to the fact that, this is just a minor correction at this point. The bigger issue comes when we hit this resistance here. So that's at about 57, sort of maybe 200 to about 57,500, depending on which exchange you're trading on. They all have a slightly different variation. But yeah, I don't see any major issues with Bitcoin sort of, really dumping. And if it does, have a stop loss. So that's what we always do. So this
what sort of levels are you looking at for where would you feel confident saying, okay, we are really going to sort of pull back here? If we're retesting that high again, what is it now? The third attempt we're going to have?
Yeah, well, this channel here, I think we should break out fairly soon. So I'm still seeing 66K coming up, in the not too distant future. So I don't see any issues with Bitcoin. We are going to come back down and touch the MA, but, as you can see on the higher time frame charts, they've crossed bullish. So, if we have a look at this MA here, we're starting to sort of curl. This MA here should continue and start to move up. We should see that turning green. So this is the hourly chart, and if that starts to sort of move into a bullish momentum, then other charts are going to follow. So going back to even lower time frames, this is a 15-minute, which is to me a scalping chart. And we've had quite good support. We are coming into this region and touching MAs. So that's still really strong support in this region to me. And as we may come back and pull back to 54, but that's not a big issue for the overall pattern for Bitcoin. So it should continue to move higher. But yeah, we can see that we've got this channel support, and it's again supported by the MA. So yeah. Another thing that we look for before a move is a declining volume. So we've seen that on some of the other timeframes. We did see some capitulation in regions, and it's looking really good to continue. So I do think Bitcoin's going to be slow moving. It's not going to be a chart that's sort of just it's not seeing those massive green dildos that we saw, like at sort of 20k, and that where everyone's like, yes, it's moved 10%. So it's more stable, and it's evolving, and it's something that people are coming into the market and just going, okay, this is digital gold basically, and I'm going to hold this, and it's this is my retirement. So the more people that continue to come in and do that, the more stable Bitcoin's going to be. So Ethereum. So this is in a slightly different pattern. Normally Ethereum is in a similar pattern, but we're developing a slightly different pattern just due to the issues that it's had over the past little while, especially with the, what is it, 3.0? 2.0?
Two.
No, 3.0 is it's another coin. So, I've just increased it. I've just bypassed 2.0, exactly. And it's like we're just going to 3.0 because I didn't like 2.0.
Well ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, that's it. So I think if Bitcoin has that minor pullback to 54, Ethereum's going to come down and touch this support. So this is around the sort of 1550 mark for Ethereum.
Ooh, ouch.
It could pull back down to there. We're sort of fighting with these MAs at the moment. So if we drop back down, we do have support on the hourly on the MA. So, if that holds, we're scooping up a little bit here, which is a good sign. So if we can continue with this momentum, then we're going to go up before we go down. But we have not completed this pattern in this triangle yet for Ethereum. So I do think we are going to get an A, B, C, D, E on this pattern. It's a really slow mover. So A, B, C, D, E, just sort of moving there. So in this, we can go up to this range and down again. So, so if I draw some squiggles as to how this possibly might move, it could come up before it comes down. So, and then we've got a D, which goes into a 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then take off. So, and that's kind of the extended pattern of Ethereum as we kind of move, into that. They need to sort out all of that infighting that they've got and decide what they're doing with it so that, it can continue to move higher, and they need to sort gas fees so people actually start using it.
Yeah, but a bit of fun around on Ethereum at the moment. But I think it's the 1st of April, isn't it? The miners are playing a few games there, but I don't see
which makes me think, because 1st of April is April's Fool Day. So, it's like, okay, what are we doing here? So why 1st of April, which is kind of crazy and weird, but yeah. So this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. We can see that we've broken down into this region that I said was possible to break down. We've got this channel that's formed. So that's okay. So we're going to come down and touch this region, which is, showing that Bitcoin will pull back and then to that 54 mark and then continue up. I don't think we break that red channel bottom. So if we have a look at the alts as well, so we're not going to consolidate in this region. We're trying to break out. So that's a really good sign of money continuing to come into the market, especially for alts, because we do have those patterns that are looking really, really strong. there are some very, very oversold ones. So this is a crypto market cap, and we're, you know, continuing into this wedge that we've got, this rising wedge. So this pattern is looking really strong as well. So we should see this movement sort of pushing up and then continuing up in this region. And this is our alts, total 2. So it's the alt. So we've had a little bit of a deeper drop, but we are continuing. So mainly following those squiggles. So I'll just update those. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we might get a drop at this point. But again, alts in these patterns are very, very overdue corrections. So, you know, make sure you have your stop losses in place, because we are getting a lot of extended fifth waves at the moment. So we're in, most of these patterns are in only in third waves, so the fifth of the third. So, you know, they're going to continue after that next drop. So, but, you know, make sure you do have stop losses in place. This is theta or theta. I like to call it theta. So it is in this, it's in a rising wedge as well. So we have technically broken out of that pattern, but I think we're going to come back down. So that's why I've got my star here, because I think this is an A, B, C, and we're coming back down. Our MACD has just crossed over. This is only a 4-hour. So, you know, if Bitcoin does pull back, which is really possible, you know, these alt patterns are going to drop down. So you want to be, if you are in this trade, just tightening stops a little bit, and just in case it does just go, well, whatever, I don't care what Bitcoin thinks, I'm going to continue. So that does happen with a lot of the alt patterns lately. They are sort of decoupling from, you know, Bitcoin and continuing on. T-Fuel, again, has held the support and looking really strong. So it is pulling back to this region at the moment. So we should see just the pullback to the support. It's been a little bit weaker than what Theta has. So, you know, this may just drop below that support and then continue up. Now, BNB, it's over sort of correcting, you know, Pancake Swap and all of that has, while we wait for Uniswap 3.0, that's what I was talking about, not Ethereum. So, yeah. So while we're waiting on that, sort of, you know, a lot of people are sort of sitting on the sidelines on a lot of these Pancake Swap and all of that. And, you know, these patterns are bottoming out at the moment. So we're seeing a lot of the dual swap and the Pancake Swap patterns with retraces of sort of 60 to 70%. And they should start moving. So when they start moving again, BNB will take off. So I do think we have one more corrective wave in this pattern. So if we go and we add a channel to this pattern, so we've got a nice channel here. So we technically could have one more wave if we can't break. We've only had 2 touches to the top, and we've had, you know, 3 touches to the bottom. So I'd like to see a 4th touch to the bottom and then take off. So I'm going to put another star in this region here, because that's where I think I'm going to buy it. Well, I hope to buy it. So this is super confusing. So there's UBXT, which is upbots, and then there's UBX. So everyone on Twitter was asking me for UBX, and I charted UBXT. So you've got both. So this is UBXT. It is on FTX. Currently, it's has broken out, but there's been no retest to this previous resistance as yet. So while it may go up a little bit here, it's seeing a little bit of resistance, and I think it's going to wick down and touch this support. So it's a good idea to ladder into this one. It's looking really good. I'm watching this one at the moment to see where it sort of goes. This chart is up on Twitter if you wanted to have a look. And then UBX. So on Twitter, we had this one, everyone was going crazy over it, and I gave them the wrong chart. So here we go. This is the correct chart. We can see that we've had this pullback in this region, and I said that it should pull back to the star. We've hit right in that region a couple of times, which has been really nice to trade. And we've continued up. So we're going to have one more pullback in this region to the support, which is around the 1,000,3395, and then continue up. So that's a really nice correction for that. This is a 12-hour chart. The RSI still does need a little bit of cooling. There's still, we can see the volume sort of easing in this region as well. So we should get a little bit, probably around the 50 mark on the RSI before we take off again. But it's looking really, really strong. E-gold. So it's broken out finally, really exciting. Hope you bought it, Sean. No.
Yes, I did.
You did. Yeah.
Nice entry as well, actually.
So it's coming back. It's retesting the previous resistance, which is a really good sign.
Oh, great. So you're going to tell me it's going down, are you now?
No, it's retesting this resistance, and then it will retest as support, and then it will continue up, Sean. That's how they work.
Very good. Very good.
ADA, so there's talk of this one hitting $2 all over Twitter. So I don't see it. I'm the party pooper. I really am. So I don't know, there's just not a lot of volume coming into it. That can change, obviously. It's, the waves are looking quite fragile at the moment. The RSI is sort of coasting down. So I do think, even though this 4-hour chart is kind of holding those MAs, unless we see some serious volume come into this, yeah, I'm kind of thinking it might continue to come down to touch this support. It's the only thing that sort of says that it may, maybe, because the RSI is still kind of, it is kind of, it's got its brakes on, so it could continue. So I'm going to ladder into this trade around this region. So this is just around the MA. So I do think it's going to consolidate for a little bit longer and come and touch this support. So I don't think in the next week it's taking off like everyone is saying. There's still a lot of sell pressure on this. Usually when we see these massive big rises, like, we get all the new investors panicking that it's going down forever. So they're, until that sell pressure sort of eases, these charts sort of, just go sideways and progress sideways for quite some time. So that's what we saw in e-gold, and that's what we're seeing here in ADA. Hard, we are coming down as well right at the moment. So we're going to come down and we should retest this support. So this support is at 185, and then we're going to continue up. We've got about an 80% move. So we're going to be 80% harder. So yeah, so it's looking really cool. XRP, we broke out, we came back, we retested, we had quite a large breakout. We did retest this support, and then we went up, but we've retested it again because Bitcoin had a bit of a hissy fit. So this pattern's looking really strong. We're now above the MAs. So we did have some news with EU using this and sort of moving a lot of XRP and Ripple around. So yeah, it's looking really good in my opinion. So I know it's a slow moving coin at the moment, but I do think it's going to move higher. So it could drop down to the 200 MA. This is a 2-hour chart, but we've got a 50% move coming up on this one. over the next little period, depending on when it starts moving. Now, DOT, it loves to form these triangles. So we've come down, we've got 3 tests to this support at this region. We've held it. The resistance has been touched 3 times. So we'll probably touch 1 more time onto this support, and then we're going to continue up. So I think we're going to get a fairly sort of good 60% move on DOT fairly soon. So we do have Kusama with the parachain auctions. So Kusama is just going absolutely crazy at the moment. So, it's just hit the next target, which is 170%. So since it's been on the show here, it's done about 1350%, which is massively huge. So I was watching one of the original HardForking shows, and I think it was about $24 when we had it on the show. So, which is a massive percentage rise, because we're at 525 now. So, yeah. So it's moved really, really strongly. Kai, which lots of people, we are seeing this correction here. We have turned down on the MAs, so I think we're going to pull back a little bit more and keep correcting here for a little bit longer. Acro, we've just touched this next target on Acro, so this is looking really, really strong to continue. So we probably see a minor pullback. So we've done 65% here. And yeah, so this was, I think when was it? It was trade of the week a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's moved really strongly. Like, it comes back, it pulls back, and then continues up. So it's one that I think to watch. So this is another DOT project from memory as well. So don't quote me on that if that's wrong. So Matic is almost, I do think I'm watching this one, and I've got some alerts on it at the moment to see if it holds this support, this yellow support zone. It could come down and just crawl down this red previous resistance for a little bit. So again, it's had those massively big moves, and we're seeing that sort of that money pull out of it at the moment, just gradually, like as people go, oh, this isn't moving, I'm going to get, going to go into something that's moving a bit stronger. This is Wink. So this one is just about to take off. So this one is looking super strong. So for a move really, really soon. So I've got this one at 0.00034 to about 3.5 for a buy zone. And then it'll take off. Just be careful with your stop loss, because there is a potential that it could come down and touch this MA. So this MA is around the sort of the 29-ish region. So if Bitcoin corrects, so that's the only issue. If Bitcoin does pull back a little bit, a lot of these alts are going to have a little bit of a pullback. So ICX, so we broke out, we have in this region, some of my charts have decided they don't want to do what they're doing. So we had a breakout over the weekend with ICX. So we've got this channel, uptrend channel. So we should continue in this pattern. So it's formed nicely. So this, I believe, will hold, and then next target up here from this position. It's 25%, but still 25% is easy money when it's in a channel. We've got some upper targets, but we're going to stay in this channel for a little bit longer. MACD is just turning up at this region as well. So Dent as well, we're coming back down. We're going to continue to correct in this one. So this is going to come back down to the next line here, yellow line. So it's about 925. for Dent before it sort of turns around. We are starting to settle with the MACD, which does say that this pattern is coming to a close with correction. So yeah, not looking too bad. So this one, so this was Harmony one, Sean. I don't, know if you remember. This is the one that's got the movie coming out with Kate Winslet. So it has had a lot of press in the news and has absolutely taken off since we had it on the show. So it's done 950%. So I know you laughed at it, but it was good money. I don't know if you guys can see him. He's just sitting there laughing. He's like, it's like watching a silent movie. Poor Sean. This is REBB, guys.
Oh, sorry, I'm not adding much today, people. I'm a bit clogged up, as you can hear.
So this was our trade of the week last week. We had two. So this was one of them. And we have done 85% here. So
whoop.
Yeah, it's been a really, really good trade. Now, F1 Bahrain is on today. So, there was actually mention of this on one of the networks. So this is really going to start taking off in the not too distant future once that sort of, that word gets around.
True. They also launched their MotoGP game this weekend.
Oh, excellent. Even better. So MotoGP is not far away either. So yeah, looking really good. Oh, we've got some slowness. No, we don't want to see BTC pair. That's depressing. BTC pairs on everything are very depressing. So this is Ava Travala. So we've got a little bit of resistance in this region, but if we put this under, it's now support. So technically we're in sort of like a rising channel. So I make that a channel. We could have a minor breakdown on this, but to me, this is looking fairly good. It might, we should get about 480, 90 sort of ish here, and then sort of continue in this channel. But it's looking really strong. They've had huge news over the last period. And, this is obviously both Sean and I, it's a long-term hold for both of us.
Yep.
So not that he's talking, I'm just going to talk for him. This is NPXS. We are still waiting on Binance to confirm the details on when the redenomination is going to happen. So that's causing sort of some confusion in the market. So we're getting a little bit of a pullback at the moment. So if we go to this sort of region, we haven't got much of a pullback sort of left, and we've got a cross support in this region. So this cross support is around the 6 sort of, what have we got? 6, 7 sort of ish mark before we take off again. But it's had a really massive sort of run. And, when we do get that news of when that redenomination is happening, I'm sure that this will take off again. We can see that this cross support makes sense. This is a 2-hour chart. It's curling right down. So we should bounce on that cross support and then continue up. So pattern is starting to flatten out on the MACD. On the 2-hour chart here, we are starting to get very, very oversold. So when we're oversold, that means we've probably got maybe 1 or 2 waves down, and then we're going to continue and bounce in this region. So this chart is looking really strong for longer term. Slow computer. VRA, this is one that I've had on Twitter, and we've come back down, retested support, and we're continuing up. So it's at about 65% profits right now. So it's traveling really nicely. This is KLV clever. So it's not being very clever at the moment. It's coming back down to the support. Well, that's kind of clever. So it's come back into this buy zone that I had on Twitter. So we should see a fairly sort of nice move in the next little while with this. Now they've got some, this is a 4-hour chart and the RSI is starting to be quite oversold. So once we touch that 200 MA, this second line up here is 100% and we should continue up. So potential profit on this one is 300%. This is a fairly sort of long-term hold for me. I don't want to bore you with all of the boring charts. This is Anchor. It's done 250% profits. Now this is coming back down, so it's going to retest this region here. So if we put that Lazy Lisa fibs on here, Lazy Lisa supports. So this is coming back to probably around the 145 sort of mark. It's still got quite a bit of correction to go. The MACD is only just starting to curl down. So yeah, so that's got a little bit more. So this is one I'll be watching for that buy zone, but it's not one I'm going to be jumping into at the moment. Neo is starting to move. So Neo has, I think, a mainnet, or is it a mainnet coming? Do you know?
No, I don't.
So I've heard
I'm just trying to concentrate on breathing at the moment. I'm so stuffed up here today, people. I do apologize for my lack of involvement.
We do have a little bit of resistance in this region on Neo. So I do think it'll fill out sort of this triangular region before it takes off. So it should hold around about this sort of 39.40-ish mark for Neo. So hot. This is my trade of the week. So this is on Binance. So this has been a really, really, really strong mover. So we've done 450% on this on Twitter, and it's about to continue. So, you know, it's corrected nicely to this support. It should break up, retest this cross support, and then continue. So right now we are at sort of 105. We should start moving on this, and we've got potentially 100% profits in the next week. I think we've got some news coming. MACD is curling, so this chart looks really, really nice. Now, because we did 2 charts last week, I'm going to continue along the theme with 2 charts. Now, the next chart, so this hot or hollow is on Binance. It's on a lot of exchanges. It's quite widely sort of traded. And last week we had KuCoin with REVV. So this week we've got DSLA. So this one is on Uniswap, but it's also on MCX and it's on ProBit. So we're having a little bit of a pullback on this one. And I've got to buy around the sort of lots of zeros, 6-7 mark. This is the Ether pair, but you can get a USD pair on ProBit and MXC. And then we've got 100% trade potential on this one. So we had this one on the show way back when it was down here. So it's done 1,000%, like since we had it on the show last time. So this one's a really, really strong mover.
They launched their mainnet in the next couple of days as well, Lisa.
Oh, there you go. So that's why this chart looks so good. So it's
a very interesting project. Really, it's one I've been covering fundamentally for quite a while.
Yeah, so it's looking really nice to start moving. So, you know, we've got 1, 2, 3 come down and just touch that star and then continue up. So I'd be laddering into this region because we've got 100% move and it's looking really, really strong. So yeah, so quick show today. Quickly. Look if there's anything.
You've held the fort by yourself today, Lisa. Thank you very much. As you can hear, I'm not exactly feeling the best today.
So in the next day or so, I am going to get a whole heap of charts up on back up on Tumblr. So they will eventually go into the new website, but at the moment it's still like we're still fixing some issues. So I don't want to do that straight away just yet. And and kill it again.
Victim of your own popularity. That's not a bad thing, Lisa.
No, it's not a bad thing. But yeah, big shout out to CryptoPlots for he was up until like 4 a.m. this morning in the UK just working on that. And he's probably up again now, just being a crazy man working on that. So yeah.
Very good. Now, are we live tomorrow? Also,
yes, no, we are live tomorrow. So I need to actually, before we go, I will bring up the world chart. Hang on, no, we don't want to see that one. Wait, where are we? Here we go. So this is world token. So this is it's an NFT marketplace, and we are talking to them live tomorrow, which is really exciting. So they're going to tell us all about what they're doing, what they've got coming. And, so we've got this pattern on world at the moment. So we've got this nice cup. We're coming down. It's done a quick handle. So this should continue. So this pattern is looking really solid. So we've already done 150% since we had it on the show. So this is, so if you go to their Twitter world token, they've got a list of exchanges you can buy it on. So most liquidity obviously is on Uniswap for world at the moment. They're on PancakeSwap as well, and a couple of other smaller exchanges in USDT pairs. So yeah, so excited to have these guys on the channel tomorrow and talking to them about this. And they've just released the test net, so it got released last night.
Awesome. Yeah, the other members of the HardForking team were very, very pleased to have this project on the channel as well. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, no, it's a really exciting project. So yeah, there we go.
Actually, I'll get them on, because as everybody can hear, you probably don't want to listen to my voice when it's like this. I'm sure it'll be fine with a rest tonight.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Lisa. You've certainly run the entire show by yourself today.
So that was the quickest show we've done for ages, guys. Quickest show ever. Yeah. So yeah. So
smash the likes for people, for Lisa people. There's only 100. That's no good. We've got 300 of you watching. Come on, going on.
So thank you guys for joining us and watching. And over the next sort of 12 to 24 hours, keep an eye on Tumblr and on Twitter, and I'm going to post a whole heap of charts. I've got those all coming, and I've been looking at those, obviously, because we're running signals through the Getting Started in Crypto website. So there's also, because of our email glitch, sign up to the Twitter. I've tweeted that so you can get the alerts. And yeah, so happy trading.
Exactly.
It's going to be another big week in crypto.
Yeah. No, I've actually had a fantastic week, actually. You're the coin of the week's done very well. Big fan of that project. And we will see you back here tomorrow, people. Live.
So make sure you join us tomorrow. We will be back on the HardForking channel and talking to the world, people. We are the world. I know, bad jokes.
Cheesy.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lisa. Thanks for watching, everyone. And we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers now.